Hello, welcome and welcome back. I'm Umi and today I want to show you how I painted a wall in my room. I painted it back in September 2024 during a 12-hour stream on my Twitch channel. Today I will be talking about my thought process and the techniques that I used while you watch a time-lapse from the stream. I actually wanted to make this video back in autumn of 2024, but I was busy with my other personal projects and didn't have time for it. Yeah, wall painting. What happens if you mess up something? I have a bucket of paint of my wall paint, so if I don't like it, I can always just, paint over it and nothing happens. Anyway, let's get started. To be honest, I actually never planned to be painting a wall in my room. Back in summer, we had renovations in our apartment, and I had a chance to design my room. My room is pretty tiny, and I wanted it to be as light and as bright and as minimal as possible to make it seem bigger and more spacious. So wall painting was not in my plans. But a lot of people kept telling me,
Umi, you're an artist, so why don't you paint a wall in your room?
And eventually thought, yeah, why not? It can't be that hard. I was so wrong. Mainly because I chose a pretty hard way how to do it. Okay, but first I had to decide what I will be drawing, where will I be drawing it, and what techniques I'll be using. My Twitch channel is somehow themed around cardboard boxes, so I decided to draw my character sitting in a cardboard box. I also wanted to add some flowers because my room is green, and since I already decided that I will be painting the wall during a Twitch stream and make it a community event, I decided to ask my community members to submit their favorite flowers. After deciding what I will be drawing, it was finally time to do some drawing. To make sketching easier, I took a picture of my wall. As you can see, I have there wall lights, and I have my bed standing next to the wall. So I needed to be sure that my drawing fits in. I made my sketch digitally in Clip Studio Paint and made a mock-up with my photo. At this point, I was excited that things are going smoothly, but then it was time to figure it out how I will transfer this on the wall. I had three options. First, to divide drawing into sections and just draw it by hand on the wall, which was not an option. It would take a lot of time, it would be pretty stressful if I make something wrong, and it also wasn't helping that I had 2 days to transfer my sketch on the wall, so it was the worst option to choose, so I didn't go with it. The second option was to buy a projector and use the projection on the wall and just trace it. It is probably the best option how to transfer your drawing onto the wall. But the problem was I didn't have a projector, I didn't have any funds to buy it, and I had no one to ask to borrow it. And the last option was to use a transfer calc. It is still a long and annoying way, pretty much just like the first option, but definitely safer. I use Daler Rowney Tracing Calc. The way it works is that you put your drawing with graphite or charcoal on the calc, and then by pressing the calc against the surface, the graphite drawing will be left on the surface of your wall. Since I decided how I will transfer it, now it was time to do some math. I measured the area of the wall that would be painted and counted how many pieces of A4 papers I would need to cover that area. Why A4 pieces? Well, first of all, my printer can only print A4 size paper. And second, I also got my calc in A4 paper size. From one hand, it was nice to trace the drawing on the calc, but on the other hand, pressing the drawing on the wall was pretty hard. You had to be very careful how you're aligning the calc, how you're aligning each piece on the wall. Sadly, I don't have a recorded process of that, but you'll see some snippets. So yeah, that's the calc. I know this as well. So the graphite is on this side. You just put it into the wall and press it really hard, and then you have the transfer station. So I figured that 5x6 layout would be good enough. Then on my PC I opened Adobe Illustrator and created an A4 artboard. Then in artboard settings I created more artboards to recreate my area of the illustration. Then I pasted in my previously made sketch and stretched it until it fills in the area from edge to edge. Then I also had to flip it since it needs to be mirrored for transferring on the wall. And then I just used the inbuilt print function in Adobe Illustrator and got my 30 sheets that had to be traced. I think I spent just the full day tracing the drawing onto the calc. And also it didn't help that I was doing it one day before the stream. It was really painful. I was so tired the day I had to do the stream. When I traced everything, it was quite quick to transfer it onto the wall. I only had to put calc onto the wall and press it really hard in the places where there were any lines. I used a hypermarket customer card to press the drawing onto the wall. It was very fast and easy. For tracing the drawing onto the calc, I used these Staedtler graphite pencils, specifically the softest one, the 8B, because it would be easier to stamp it on the wall. And this is how it looked the morning before the stream. All that was left is to line my sketch on the wall. I actually decided not to go with the painting because, as I said earlier in my video, I have a really tiny room, and if I would actually paint it with many different colors, the room would become darker and it would seem a bit smaller. So I opted out for making a simple line art. I used Posca markers and I chose this British green shade. I actually bought 2 markers since I was afraid one wouldn't be enough, but there's actually still a lot left. I don't know what to do with them now. I also printed a copy of my drawing onto an A4 sheet so I could just check if I'm drawing everything as I intended. I still have a bucket of my wall paint left after the renovations, so if anything I could always just cover my illustration with paint, but it would be really sad to do that. think it would have been probably faster if I did it off stream. I was constantly talking to the chat and getting distracted. Actually, while editing the time-lapse, I understood that the actual drawing time was only 5 hours out of 8 hours that I was drawing on the stream. So 3 hours was just me yapping to my chat. But it was definitely worth it. It was a great event and I really enjoyed it, and I had lots and lots of fun that day. My stream mod really was making fun out of me. I love how absolutely drained you look each time you sit down. For even a second, this is cooking. I'm not getting younger. And well, it indeed was tiresome to be standing next to the wall for 8 hours straight. I was even worried I wouldn't manage and would have to continue the other day. But after pushing through a little bit, it was actually finished. Am I really finished? Ouch. I mean, I could actually work a little bit on lilacs. They do look a bit empty compared to everything. Okay, I lied. I decided to add some things. Okay. I think it's finished. If I were to do this again, I'll just buy a projector, really. I also forgot to add that there was a lot of graphite left on the wall, and after a few days after the stream, I decided to take my paint bucket and cover those places with a little bit of paint so it would look a bit more clean. It's still noticeable if you're up close, but from afar it looks pretty good. I hope that this video inspired you to try painting walls in your room if you ever dreamed of it, and I hope that you enjoyed the video. I know it's very different from my usual drawing me videos, but I hope that I will have an opportunity to share my bigger projects like this too with you. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye!